What if being tired does not mean you are more committed?
Today, we're talking with Naomi Asher about burnout, boundaries, and why rest is not weakness. It is part of a sustainable leadership.
Tired is not a badge of honor.
Naomi is the author of Take to the Bed, and she helps leaders stop confusing exhaustion with commitment.
Rest can be a strategy.
By the end of this episode, we'll ask, how do we recharge before we hit the wall?
At the end of the day, you do not have to earn rest.
Hi, I'm Claude.
And I'm Jess.
We are corporate employees by day, entrepreneurs by night, and work besties for life.
Join us as we explore how work besties lift each other up, laugh through the chaos, and thrive together in every industry.
Work Besties!
Naomi, we are so happy to have you. Welcome.
Thanks so much. I'm excited to be with you guys.
Awesome. We saw you're a leadership speaker, coach, nonprofit strategist, and the author of Take to the Bed. So how did you get started into this?
It's funny. And after I finished my master's degree, I told my husband to never let me go back to school. And in 2019, I didn't tell him, and I applied to start my PhD. And so I started in January of 2020, which actually kind of got me through the pandemic, honestly, because I have a problem with wanting to be busy. And I feel like if I'm not busy, then I'm not achieving anything, which I think a lot of us kind of struggle with. And so it helped me really stay grounded, I think, during that time where evening events and things that I had been shoving into my life forever, those were gone. And so I was really digging into schoolwork. And as I started looking at what I wanted my dissertation to focus on, I thought, why are so many people in this kind of role so burned out? I don't feel burned out. I'm not burned out at all. And I was really interested. Why am I not when my friends are? Funnily enough, so it took me until this year to finish and graduate. But
Congratulations.
Yeah,
thank
congrats.
you. So I just finished a couple weeks ago. But I hit a wall about 2 years ago. I had switched positions. I was the CEO for a nonprofit serving a 4-county service area, and went to a much larger nonprofit as the chief development officer, because that's where I really felt like I thrive. I love raising money. I love doing community relations, those kinds of things. And it just was not a good fit. Culturally, the values alignment wasn't there where I expected it to be. I found myself in less than 6 months completely burned out and confused because I had less responsibility and was far higher compensated than I'd ever been. So if everything tells me I should be living my best life right now and I'm miserable, I have to really figure this out. And my research, as I started doing my studies and getting all of my feedback in and started digging into it, I realized, oh, this is why. This is why these things are happening. This values alignment, the things that are important to me were just not the same in this organization. There was a mismatch. Conflict. There was just this low level conflict between everybody. Clarity and seeking those things was just not, it was just not present in this organization. They functioned very differently in a way that I was comfortable with. So this low level feeling of conflict was sitting there. And then I just started feeling completely incompetent. My confidence was completely shot. And time again, as I go through this research, those are the 3 things that come to the top as creating burnout. It's not workload. That's a symptom. It's not compensation. That's a symptom. It's these 3 underlying pieces. That's really where I found myself starting to get this clarity and understanding burnout so much more.
So the 3 you say are values alignment, conflict, and what was the third one?
Competency or confidence in what you're doing.
So Naomi, you figured that out because you happen to be doing research on it. From your perspective, what are ways or things people should be thinking of as they're in that moment? Like,
So we get in this like the rat race. I call it in my book, I refer to it as the cupcake hustle. And so when I very first started in nonprofit, I have a really good friend who started a bakery and I wanted to support her. Plus I love cake. Like cake is hands down my favorite
Yeah.
thing, honestly. My self-care is eating a sheet cake. Like just eat
a sheet cake.
cake. Just get one. And you know what? Nobody says you can't eat it in bed. So like grab a cake, take it to bed and just eat a cake. I love it. So I was
I
buying cupcakes from this bakery. At the end of the day, I'm like, what do you have left? Give me the cupcakes. And I would run around town and give them to people that I had a really good interaction with that week. And I was doing it completely naively just to support this business. Obviously, if you look into business development books and marketing and all these things, they say that's a really good way to kind of have this leave behind or this like feel good. And so I recognize now this is something that is quantifiable. At the time, I was just like, I want to go give some people some cupcakes. Well, it started working. So these people that I would go in there like, oh, it's the cupcake girl. Absolutely. She can go talk to the CEO. Like
Okay,
doors
girl.
started opening because I was validating people who usually didn't have validation. Just with no intention, I just liked giving cupcakes to people that were accessible and had interacted with me that week. So what that ended up doing unintentionally though was giving me this idea and this weight and this responsibility to constantly be hustling through this cupcake hustle. So whether it was cupcakes or calls or letters, cards, acknowledgement became such a huge part of who I was and this acknowledgement of other people. And so I found myself so weighed down with responsibility to always say yes and always show up and always be there because it worked. And so that's
Yeah.
the problem is then
Pretty
it's like,
great.
oh, you get that dopamine hit, you get that positive traction, you get that like, oh, Naomi, she's so sweet. She's always bringing cupcakes. Well, now I can't stop doing it because people have this expectation of me. And so what happens is we get ourselves in this hustle, in this cupcake hustle, and then we're tired and we think, well, it's just because I'm overcommitted or it's just because I'm so busy and I'm promising myself now I'm going to go on vacation. So we get in this habit of promising ourselves when this season is over, I'll slow down. No, we won't. We're going to keep doing what we're doing because it's working. And so we find ourselves stuck in this place where we
In a
can't stop and
cycle.
reflect why we're tired because we have to keep up with everything that we're doing.
So from that perspective, so it sounds like the rest from a weekend or rest from a vacation isn't enough. So what are those practical ways people should be thinking of rest?
Taking more frequent breaks, but also it's that constant, the constant alignment. So I ask people a lot if they have any downtime in their week. And this is part of it too. I love work. Like I love it. Please don't tell me that I have to just get everything done in 40 hours. I don't want to. It's not my life phase. Like I want to work. So for me, I always Sunday afternoons, Sunday evenings, that's my favorite time to work. I love it. I can lock in. There's nothing else going on. I do that and it puts me ahead for the rest of the week. The flip side of that is it means I can slow roll my Monday morning. And I take a chunk of time on Monday morning to really reevaluate everything on my calendar and to think about whether or not does this align with my goals, with who I am, with where is this something that I'm good at? So am I doing things because people asked me because they just need a body to do it? Or am I doing this because it's a strength that I can offer that I'm really good at, and they ask me specifically because I'm good at it. So that alignment, I think if we can all find a time, and I give you the Saturday or the Sunday night thing because of two things. Number one, that aligns with my values to be working on a Sunday night. I love it. And it allows me to slow roll into Monday. That's a terrible time to do it for most people. So if you find a time that is not a terrible time to do it, it probably is not Monday morning, it may be Friday, but you take that intentional time to evaluate what am I hustling at? Am I going to somebody's cousin's birthday party because they asked me to come to it? And that has nothing like no, I don't even want to go. Am I overfilling my life because I'm scared to say no? Or am I filling my life with things that are important and that matter and that align with my values?
For those that are leaders, and let's say you are staying at a company and you're continuing up the path to gain that next level, what are some things or patterns or ways that leaders start to head into burnout without even realizing it?
So when we don't have the light at the end of the tunnel, so it's the idea of hope. So we already know there's so much study to talk about the importance of hope. And when we're feeling like there's no hope because there's no end of the tunnel, there is no next season. There is no, I told my husband once I always have to have a vacation planned because I'm working towards it. Like I've got this
Okay.
thing that that's going to be good. And so that's one of the things. If we don't have that, if consistently we're having to cancel or change our vacation or work on vacation because things are chaotic, we're not going to look forward to vacation anymore. If we're not looking forward to the weekends because we know, okay, well, probably I'm going to have to deal with this or deal with that. We've got family stuff, which you can't control that either if you've got kids and I've got parents that all need help. So now my weekend is full of those kinds of things. So
Yeah.
we begin to lose hope. And then what happens is it's not just once or twice a week feeling tired. It's every day we're waking up exhausted. We're losing motivation. We're losing our temper more easily. We're making bad decisions. All of these are signs of burnout and symptoms of burnout. And we've got to stop the cycle. So when we start noticing this, and it honestly, it takes sometimes. My friends said to me, "You never want to hang out with us anymore." And I hadn't even recognized it. And I was like, "You're right.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. I'm just deep level exhausted." And I was very short tempered. So when we start noticing those things, that should be a wake up call. But unfortunately, most of the time we need somebody that we love and trust to speak into our life and say, you are exhibiting these things, because we often don't notice them for ourselves.
And that actually could be a work bestie that could
Right.
see the sign and help you say,
Which-
okay, there's something.
I feel like
Going
you
on.
and I do that a lot.
Yeah.
Like there's sometimes where it's usually me who lashes out and you're like, is something wrong? Or like, right?
Why would we
Okay,
even
yeah.
say that?
She's like,
Obviously,
sure,
I'm
I'm
fine.
not gonna log into this one.
Or if I don't answer, I'm like, okay.
My thing is, I went through a phase of saying, that sounds like a you problem.
Jesus.
My
My husband's like, you seem a little tense. Are you okay? You seem a little tense. That sounds like a you problem. You're tense. I'm fine,
Tense. You're
obviously.
tense. That's how I would respond. Are you okay? And I'd be like, are you okay?
Yeah, with the you in capital letters.
Yes. Oh,
Oh my
so,
God, I
Naomi,
love
you
it.
bring up a really good point, especially not to stereotype, because it does happen at all ages, but it does happen a little bit more to midlife individuals where you are now starting to take care of your home life is not just your kids, but your parents at times, as well as you have a career. What is the difference between being like responsible for something versus the overfunctioning?
Yeah.
Because some of those
I
things, like, it's
love
hard,
talking about
right?
this. Yeah, it's really hard. So, and it's not just, I hate it when people say, oh, burnout. I mean, you should just do yoga and breathing exercises and like have better
Thank you.
boundaries. Like 5 o'clock is
I'm
5
like,
o'clock.
journal,
and-
just journal,
Yeah.
Claude.
Meditate.
drives me nuts. It drives me nuts. And I'm like, if you're one of those people that with boundaries means like I never work on the weekends and 5 o'clock is the end of the day. I'm like, there's a difference between being a jackass and like having boundaries because things happen. Sometimes you have to
Yeah.
work late. Like it's just
Yeah,
part
yeah.
of it, right? So
Yeah.
being a good teammate. And on the flip side, it means if it's your husband's family or your partner's family or your own family and you don't like them very much and you're just like, well, boundaries, I don't have to. Like, again, you don't have to be a jerk about it. There's a difference between taking on too much and doing what's appropriate, what is being a good friend, partner, person. The difference is this for me. I used to carry an awful lot of emotional weight for other people. So I have a lot of friends, family, like they'll talk to me. And that anytime they talk to me about something and it's heavy, or if I've got my dad had dementia for several years towards the end of his life. And that was really hard for my mom, for my other siblings, obviously. So it was just kind of living and like weighing me down. It's like a backpack of stress, like all of this anxiety and emotions. And then being in a public facing social service job, I would just have like all of that people coming in that were working full time but couldn't get housing, like heavy, heavy, heavy issues. And so carrying all of this, what I began to realize is your load is not lighter because I am carrying your emotional weight. And people,
It's hard.
I know it
Yeah.
sounds really simple, but we don't think of it that way. We think I'm rude if I don't carry this through the rest of my day. And I know this sounds simple, but hang with me. Like when you honestly stop and take a moment after one of those heavy conversations, or even after a couple of hours, to stop and go through and say, what of this is mine to carry? What in this conversation or what in this situation is actually mine to carry? The rest of it, I need to let it go. That intentional pause and almost of like visualizing it if you want to. Like let that stuff go. Holding it and carrying it does not make it easier or lighter for anybody else.
That's powerful, but how do you do that? Like, I think that's,
It's
to your point, it's
literally
easy
just
to say.
acknowledging it. Like I'm telling you over and over and over again, I have people say, "Oh yeah, that sounds real easy, but it's not that easy." I'm like, "Just try it. I need you to just stop. What am I carrying?" And just visualize letting it go. Letting it go. And when it comes back, acknowledge, hey, it's the acknowledgement part because we don't know we're doing it. We don't know we're carrying it. I have an anxiety disorder, and I was talking about this the other day. Like, my husband was the worst because he'd never had anxiety before. And so he'd be like, "What are you anxious about?" I'm like, "What am I anxious?
Yeah.
What am I not anxious about? Like, let's go through the list. Do you want to talk about like the world right now? Like, let's go as specific or as large as you would like. All of it. It's all of it." And I had to start like pausing and saying, there's something living here and I can't articulate it. I'm not quite sure. Thinking through interactions, thinking through what's going on with people, with the world, with all of this, and saying, okay, it is not making it any easier for anybody else for me to carry this. I don't mean don't care. I don't mean not be empathetic. I mean intentionally releasing that weight, and you will feel it from your body. And again, I recognize, like, to me, it sounds, when I hear myself talk about it, I'm like, oh, I can't stand you. Because it's like, oh, yoga and breathing. It sounds the same, but it is not the same. Like it's an intentional
Yeah.
thinking through these things and releasing what is not mine. Like it's not mine. I can't fix this. It's not mine to
Right.
carry. It's not mine to be angry about. It's not mine to be sad about or to, like it's not mine. It's not mine. I'm not making it lighter.
Yeah.
That intentional
Like, yeah, it
acknowledgement
sounds like
and
you
release.
can still care, but you don't
Yeah.
take on the load. So like have the limit of empathizing but not embedding.
So that is kind of helping with the burnout, the emotional burnout. But there's also what comes also, I think, is the physical burnout, right? So
Yeah.
what do you do that? Because
Yoga.
to our point, journaling,
Go
Jesus.
journal and yoga.
Bubble bath.
Because
You guys should take a bubble bath.
that's what I
Nice
do.
big glass of red wine.
Because at the end of the day, there are things that we still have to do. Like we said before, especially when you're midlife, it's not like your kids want something, say, you know what, go, whatever, I don't care. Or your aging parents or family, you still have to be there. So how do you help with
Without taking on
without
the
yeah,
weight.
yeah. I mean, you still have to do it. So what do you do to avoid burnout?
So I will say this, the emotional, and I know I honestly I hate even saying this because it makes me hate myself. But like that emotional weight does manifest itself physically. So I would say number one, once we start doing that, the physical does begin to feel like
Okay.
less. Because it's not just being busy that is making us tired. It's all of this emotional weight and it's also shifting around from so many things. So I've got to be on at work. Now I've got to be on with my kids and I've got to be on, like that's mentally exhausting. The second
Yeah.
part is what are we carrying because we don't want to ask anybody else to help? So what am I doing because I don't want to ask somebody else to do it? For years, I don't know why I did this. My husband would hand me things, I would carry them. He didn't even know he was doing it. So at some point, I must have started like taking things. I don't know how it happened. And I realized it one day. This was like probably 6 years ago. I just realized it. I'm like, why am I carrying this? Like physically in my hand, like why? And so he would hand me something and I would go, what are you doing? And he goes, oh, I have no idea. And then I would like, we'd be in the kitchen. I'm like, washing dishes. I'm like, why am I doing this? Why are you washing these dishes? He's like, oh, I have no idea. He never said he wouldn't do that stuff. I just
Right.
never gave him the opportunity to do it. And my life got so much easier when I realized, hey, I don't have to do that. He's fully competent and able to do it. I just never asked him to do it. And because I took initiative to do it first, he just thought I liked doing it, I guess. I don't know. But now I'm like, hey, man, I don't know why the laundry's not done.
It
Shifted
becomes more of
so
an equal
much.
thing, you know? Yeah.
So sometimes if we have siblings, but they're not pulling their weight and we start getting resentful and angry and frustrated, have we even articulated that we need the help
Yeah.
or that we would like
So,
for them to do it?
Naomi, this perfectly segues into conflict. So let's say you finally recognize, okay, I do need to share the load. I need to just say to them, hey, I'm the one struggling taking care of parents or whatever the issue is in the family. Um, then conflict starts to happen. So why is that cause happening, and what are ways to help navigate around?
So when we ask somebody to do something that we've never asked them to do before, they're obviously going to feel like, ew, why do I have to do it?
Yeah, like they're
Right?
not all gonna be
So
like your husband, like, oh, I don't know, I'll do it.
yeah,
They're
and
not
that
all
was
gonna
a
be
shi
like
I mean, that
that.
really was a shift. So then he suddenly feels like I'm doing more, like I'm doing so much. N And it didn't feel like an equal amount of things because he'd never done all of that before. So then he's like, why am I having to do everything now? This is not even everything, man. Let me show you all the rest of it. Right. So
Yeah.
there's that where we need to help people recognize, understand, see this is a phase of life that I need help. Before I didn't, I do now. And so it's clarity. We're scared to be clear with people, but being nice is not, is
It's
we
different.
end up building all this resentment, right? So nice doesn't mean lack of conflict. It means I'm internalizing my conflict. Clarity is actually kindness. So when we provide clarity to others, I need help right now. I've been carrying more than I can actually fit into my life. I need you to step up and help me. That clarity, even if it does create conflict, we're able to work through it, and then that conflict gets resolved. The problem is for most people, they think, "Well, you don't want to? That's okay. I'll keep doing it." And now I'm internalizing all of this frustration and conflict, and I'm living with it, and that's now carrying on me and in me, and now I'm doing all of these
All of
physical
this
things,
on top
and
of
I'm
it.
carrying all of this stuff, and now I'm mad at you, and now even if it's brunch and we should all be getting along and everything's great, I'm mad at you, but I don't want to tell you that I'm mad at you because that's not being kind, and so now I'm just being fake nice to your face. No! No, we've gotta do better. We can't be
Better,
scared of
yeah.
conflict anymore. We've just gotta be clear. We've just got to be clear.
Naomi, we at the very beginning asked a pretty powerful question that we'd love to get your perspective on. How do we all recharge before we hit that wall?
I think it's the micro breaks. So I definitely, I'm not, don't hear me say don't take vacations because I think obviously that's important as well. Like, yes, but we have to learn to take micro breaks and micro rests within our day to find those opportunities to recharge. So I drive an electric car. I've been thinking about this recently. I had the worst, like I'm terrible. I used to never fill my gas tank when I had a gas car. And now I have an electric car and it's the same thing where I'm like, I wonder how far I can push it. I am going to end up stranded on the side of the road. I have got to get better at stopping and saying, all right, I'm at 50%. that doesn't mean I can't get up to 70 and just take a 10-minute break now because it's going to help me in the long term.
Right.
Just a 10-minute pullover. That's what I mean. Like, instead of running all the way down to 2%, and now we're panicked because it's like, I'm not going to make it. I'm not going to make it. I'm not going to make it. We are all an electric car, or, your gas car. Like, we're all the same. Like, we're sputtering, just trying to get to Friday, or just trying to get to vacation, or just trying to get through this project, and we're like sputtering and barely making it. And we're going to end up on the side of the road if we don't learn to take those micro rests and stop and refill. So it's that constant evaluation of, am I carrying, did I interpret something wrong? And now I'm like up here, I'm resenting this person, or I'm frustrated with this person. Did I have some kind of interaction? I'm the worst for like reliving something that I said at the grocery store. I'm like, I don't know how they took that. They're probably thinking about it right now. No, they're not. It's just me. It's just me. It's just me worried about it. So letting those little things go, those moments of rest. I tell parents this too. I'm like, I pull in the driveway sometimes and just sit there. I just sit in the driveway for a bit before I come inside. And one day my husband was like, do you hate me? I was like, why? And he's like, you just pull in the driveway. And he's like, I pull in the driveway and I'm so excited to get inside and see you. You pull in the driveway and just sit there. Like, yeah, breathing my time. I love that hot car feeling that other people hate. I love that. Whatever it takes, like, go to the bathroom to hide for a minute. We've got to find moments to just rest and allow ourselves to have a reaction, to be mad if we want. If we're just not internalizing everything. We've got to take those moments to breathe and rest.
Beautiful.
We need to respect it in people.
Thank you so much, Naomi, for those conversations. We really loved it. A lot of things we can start working on and avoid those burnout. Thank you so much.
It reminds us exhaustion is not proof of commitment. It's really taking the time to understand your values, your clarity, your competency, and
Confidence.
And lead well, live well. Stop thinking about burnout as a positive thing. Move past it. If you guys liked this episode, please subscribe, like, and make comments. Naomi, do you want to share how people can get a hold of you?
Absolutely, NaomiTheMaven.com, and I am on all the socials, so you can follow me and find me there.
Thank you so much.
With that, Work Bestie community, we want to say,
Keep supporting each other. Bye.
Remember, whether you're swapping snacks in the break room, rescuing each other from endless meetings, or just sending that perfectly timed meme, having a work bestie is like having your own personal hype squad.
So keep lifting each other up, laughing through the chaos, and of course, thriving. Until next time, stay positive, stay productive, and don't forget to keep supporting each other.